You've just bought a Sony a5000, one of these ones, and you want to get it set up. Keep watching. It's just here, little blue latch there. And then pull that across. That's how you install the battery on that one. Now for the SD card, just on the side here. Okay. To turn it on, hit it on. There's the menu button right there. Hit that. So I'll just start from the start. So it's the same as what you guys will see. Okay. Also, when you buy a second-hand camera or an old camera, always just go on Google and type in the camera. So this would be the Sony a5000 and type firmware update on Google, and it'll bring up to the Sony webpage, and they'll tell you the latest version of this. And this is the latest version, which is version 1.10. Okay, I've checked that out and it's all good. Okay, so let's have a look. See, let's go back. Let's start from camera settings. Let's click on that. Okay, so page 1 on camera settings, shoot mode. Let's have a look. What we want is manual. So we'll go manual exposure. That's what we want. Okay. Image size. Let's have a look. So we want to go the best quality. So we'll go what it's on now. The 20M. That's the best quality. Leave it on that. So aspect ratio 3:2. We'll keep that as that. That's fine for normal photos. What we got? Quality. We want to go raw for photos. We'll shoot raw. That just gives us a lot more than what fine, that's JPEG, or RAW and JPEG. There's really no point to shoot RAW and JPEG. Just take up so much space on your SD card. But yeah, so just click RAW, and that just gives you more information in your photos, so you can bring out the shadows a lot more, and your highlights a lot more. Well, bring down your highlights a lot more than what you could with JPEG. So yeah, leave it on RAW. We'll go page 2. So file format, we've got AVC HD or MP4. Keep it at AVC HD, that's the better quality. Record setting. So we got either 24 frames a second at 1080p 50i, or you can shoot at 24 at 1080p instead of 1080i, but that's at 25 frames per second. So yeah, if you want to shoot like any slow-mo, you want to be choosing the 50 frames at 24M. So just click that. If you want to shoot like normal style videos at a better quality, choose that one. But that won't let you have any slow motion. But that's a nicer quality. Okay. Continuous shooting is fine. You don't want to be spraying, because the problem is when you spray lots of shots, you're going to be left with a lot of shots to go through and choose. But I mean, yeah, that's fine. Leave it at that. That's what I'd normally go for. Flash mode, I don't really use the flash, but I mean, you can play around with that To use your flash, you just got to hit this button at the top there, and that will flick your flash up. That thing. Red eye reduction. We'll turn that on. Okay. Focus mode. Single shot. We'll go continuous. I normally shoot with continuous. Okay. Go back. Focus area. It's wide. Zone center. So obviously, if you want to just focus on, the center of the screen, you can choose the center. But usually, I normally go wide because there's it's pretty good. The autofocus on this, it's pretty good, and wide usually does the job for what I want. Autofocus Illuminator. I usually leave that off because you'll end up getting that red eye from when this little dot here. When you're in low light situations, a little red light shot comes out of that to try and help the sensor out to figure out what it's focusing on. And what happens is you get that little red eye in people's eyes. So yeah, just leave that off. Don't worry about that. Exposure compositions. ISO. At the moment it says auto. ISO's it's okay. Auto ISO. I don't really shoot with auto unless in and out of shade and bright lights. It might pay to use auto, or you can get a variable ND filter. That's probably a better option. But normally if you're shooting outside, just leave that 100. If you're shooting low light, you can usually get away with 400. That's probably that's decent. Anything more, I reckon around the 800 mark, you start getting really noisy, like a lot of these little pixels. With these old sensors, these old cameras, you try and want to light your subject up. Don't want to really turn up your ISO when it's low light. So metering mode, I just go multi. That's what I normally do. Okay. Page 4. White balance. Well, you want to adjust that manually. So if you want to set your white balance correctly, get a grey card or a white card. Yeah, actually, I'll go one. Get your grey card. Okay. Press the center button, this button here. Capture the data. So let's just press that. Click. Okay. Enter. And we'll keep that white balance. I've not really played around with this HDR, so I'll just leave that on auto. Not really worked with that. Creative style standard. So yeah, you got standard, vivid, portrait. What I always do is just shoot standard. With this, I normally just how do I enter into it? Contrast. I normally just turn the contrast down and adjust the contrast. Whoops. Turn that down all the way. Turn the saturation down. And sharpness. I'll leave the sharpness. Yeah, I'll leave the sharpness. That's what I normally shoot, and then you just do your color correction or your editing, touch up, what do you want to call it, in Lightroom. Lock on autofocus. On. Find subject. Like that. That's pretty cool. Stays on that subject. Very good. So if you want to follow someone, that's a pretty good option. I don't normally use that. Leave that. Whoa, slow shut. Audio recording, make sure you want to leave that on. Alright, leave that on, don't turn that off. Wind noise, turn it on. And the next one, zebra. So zebra, that just shows you what's overexposed. So let's have a look. See how it's showing zebras on that? That's just let me know that it's overexposed. I don't normally shoot with zebras, but you know, lots of people find that helpful. I don't really use them, so I'll just leave that off. Manual focus assist, yeah, leave that on. Focus magnification. Gridline, turn that on. That's really helpful. I use this all the time. That's very helpful. So what that does is, let's get out of here. See, it's got these lines across now. The rule of thirds helps you frame things. So, you know, if you're, say that white camera there, if you want to shoot that white camera, you can, you know, if that's someone's face, you can put on that part there, or that there will look nice, or in the middle, like this. That looks good. Again over here, something like that. It's just handy. That's just visually pleasing for someone. Boom. Okay, let's go back. There, grid lines, rule of thirds. We'll leave that. Auto review. So after you take a picture, it will show you a preview of that. I'll leave that off. I mean, some people like it on, but it can get annoying sometimes. If you want to just preview something, just hit this little preview button just there, the little play button, and that will show you the preview. But I'll just leave that off. Display button, display all info, yeah. Histogram. I usually use that if I'm shooting S-Log, but this camera doesn't have S-Log, but so I don't worry about that. Okay. Go page 2, peaking level. So you want to turn that on. I normally shoot with peaking level at medium. I usually shoot that with red. So what that does, let's get out of this. Right there. See how that's got that red line? Everything that's highlighted red. That's what's in focus. I'm focusing on that. NEX. So enable this. Release without lens. So if you're shooting with a cheap lens, like a manual lens, like this lens here, that's a manual focus lens. It hasn't got autofocus, it's all manual. You want to have this option enabled, because if it's not enabled, it won't let you shoot. So just have that enabled. Leave that. So yeah, it's your timer. Leave that on. Some key settings. So you can change all these keys. You can change what the functions are. Move your button. You can change that, but I'll leave it on that. That's what I use. Okay. What's this one? Yeah, right. I'll just leave this the way it is. Send to smartphone. I usually use it, select on smartphone, that's what I normally do. I mean, if you send images via this option, it sends as a JPEG. So don't do it this option. Send it with yeah, just plug your SD card into your computer and send it that way. Because yeah, if you're sending it via smartphone, via Wi-Fi, it won't send it raw. Raw's too much information for it to send. Okay. This is a smart remote, so you can set up a remote for the shutter, or you can like have a viewer, like you can use your mobile as like a screen to view the images instead of having to use this screen. I mean, you probably won't even need it because it flips over, and so you can see forward. But some people like to use their phones as a monitor. Okay, let's keep going. Mode. Okay, I'm gonna leave everything like this. On to brightness. Let's turn that up all the way. Where is it? Up all the way. Helps me out in daylight. Volume. Yeah, that's what that volume is. It's for that speaker just at the bottom there. But, yeah, it's not that loud. You can't really hear it. Okay. And that's the setup. That's all of it. Okay. What I want to do, guys, I'm just going to show you a quick rundown on how to actually work the camera. If you're wanting changing your lens, if the lens isn't on when you bought the camera, so that's the sensor there. Make sure you got to. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of specs there. I'll have to blow that. I'll do that later. But so yeah, so when you're changing it, you've got a dot here. And you've got a dot there, okay, just there. You want to line them two up like this, line them up, make sure this is flush, and then you turn and hear that click, and to release it you just push that button in, and there, let's get a little release there, push that in, and you can turn it and pull it off, and again put that on and click it. So that's how you put the lens on. To turn it on, you got your on and off. For photos, that's your shutter. So yeah, that one there. This one, little circle. Okay. Recording, where it says movie, you just push that in. Hit that little dot. Now it's recording. See, it says recording. Okay. And stop the recording. You just hit it again. Okay. To menu, as we know, just hit that menu button. To view what you've taken photo or video of, you can just hit that play button, and then to watch it you just hit the middle button, and I'll just show you like that. And to stop it, just hit it again and get out of it. And that's your little rubbish. If you want to just delete that last one. Display, so we can add some more things on our display. So by hitting display, hit up on that. Now it's got more options and it shows you more information. I normally shoot with that one there down here where my thumb is. That is displaying our shutter speed, so it's 1/320, so that's set up for photos, and that's fine. To adjust the aperture, you normally just press down in that aperture button, see how it lights up, and we can adjust it. But this is a manual lens that I've swapped out to, so this is our aperture here. Okay, so that's 16, so infinity, and then back down to 1.4. So 1.4 is the iris is opened at the max. I don't know if you can see that. That's open all the way, so it's letting as much light in as possible, and closing it. And that's f16, and that's, yeah. So that's pretty much everything in focus. Yeah, it's got little amount of light, so the image is really dark. Open that back up to 1.4. Now all that light's letting in. So that helps with the that bokeh. So let's focus in on this camera. So now it's showing that camera in focus. That's a bit blown out. Let's turn our. You can turn our ISO down. Yep. Or you can turn our shutter up. Okay, let's hit that across again. So you hit down and our shutter speed is turned. You can turn that up. to correctly expose it. Oh, sorry, there you go. Got a bit of foreground there. So now I'm focusing on that lens. Let's have it in the middle of our rule of third square. Put it in the middle there. View that picture. Wow, look at that. That's nice. Got blurry background, blurry foreground, and it's focused in on that lens. So that's the main focus point, and that's shooting at f1.4, so open at its very maximum. Okay. Let's get back to this. So yeah, ISO, where it says ISO, you can adjust that. Oops, sorry, that's so just turning it straight up is going to adjust either what you had it on last, which was the shutter speed, so that's at 1/800 over 500. Okay, yeah, click that. So now we need to click on ISO, and now we can probably on this camera might be able to get a decent image at 800. Might not, yeah, 800 might be alright. Probably wouldn't go over 800, but yeah. For photos, you could probably go maybe 1250 max. Yeah, I'd probably just leave it 800 max if I was doing photos. And then yeah, for video, I wouldn't go anything over 400 on this sensor. But yeah, so that's just a little rule that I use on these older sensors. This sensor, what is this? It's a 20.1. Should say it somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. 20.1. Cool. Thanks. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching to the end. If you guys have any questions about the setup itself with the a5000, just write a little comment, and as soon as I see that, I'll get back to you. Also, if this video has been helpful, if you could just leave a like and chuck us a subscribe, that'd be really helpful as well. I'll be doing a video on the photo side of things and the video side of things as well. I'll be doing some low light examples as well with this, because it's got the old video format of the AV-CHD. So I mean, there's going to be some restriction or limitations with the ISO. You won't be able to turn that up as far as you would with a, you know, the a6000, 61, 63, 65, 66, 64, like with those cameras, because they've got the newer video format. But yeah, we should be able to get some decent shots with this. So stay tuned for that video. But yeah, thanks very much guys. Have a good one. Bye.